One of the best feelings is seeing clients implement what you've shown them and go on to see success on their own accord. I've just got done wrapping up a client interview with someone who I mentored who in the beginning only knew the basics of trading. They never had no system to put into place. They sat down with me for 12 weeks. I showed them everything I knew, and they've gone on to get funded using prop firms and get paid out by applying the skill set. This video is basically me asking a series of questions about how he found me and how he was able to get the consistency after doing the mentorship. There's a lot of gems in this video, guys, to show you that you can come from any industry and learn how to do this for real. Seeing what he's gone on to achieve in just the space of 5 months is amazing, and it goes to show you if you put the time in, the skills are transferable. So I just wanted to give an intro into this video. Hopefully you guys find it useful. If you do, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch up with you guys soon. Let's get into this interview. All right, Jamie. So yeah, thank you, bro, for doing this call, obviously. And it's just basically getting feedback from you. Obviously, you've completed the one-to-one mentoring with me. I just want to kind of go through your journey of, how you obviously found it and obviously what your previous experience was and what you've kind of gone on to do afterwards and stuff like that. So if we just start with, what was your prior experience leading into actually getting into trading, like where you was at?
So my previous experience was a bit limited. I mean, obviously I signed up to a few different companies,
Hmm.
etc., but none of
Hmm.
them gave me much value.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was quite disappointed.
Yeah, right.
Uh, they kind of see the dream, don't they? And
Yeah,
then just don't deliver. And it's all
yeah,
kind of then when you try to contact them, you can't get hold of anyone.
sure.
So, but it was cool. I kind of learned from trial and error over the years.
Hmm.
I did really well on sort of holding spot and selling it at right times, and
Hmm.
but there's only so much of that you can do.
Yeah,
Especially spot, it's best to just hang on to it indefinitely until the time is right. Shouldn't really
yeah.
trade, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I made a few quid on crypto futures, but as you know, it's like the Wild West. So
Yeah,
things move 30% in a day. So one
sure.
minute you're looking good, the
Yeah,
next day you're in the minus. So
yeah,
I kind of paused it after that and decided it wasn't really for me, and I wanted to really kind of go back to basics
hmm,
and figure it all out really.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
not take so many impulsive trades. Take
Yeah,
trades that are sort of, as the industry calls it, double A
calculated.
setups, triple A
Yeah,
setups. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, and that's where I found you, my friend.
Okay, great. So in terms of like what you could say you were struggling with prior was like you said, impulsive trading and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like what was your biggest struggles before you actually like done the mentoring with me and stuff like what would you say was your when you was actually trading with the skill set you had, what was you struggling with the most?
I was struggling with consistency, sort of borderline between trading and gambling.
Right.
Sometimes I would take wild trades
Hmm.
to catch my tail. So if I made a loss,
Yeah.
I'd say I need to recoup that loss before I can close my computer for the day.
Right. Okay.
And that's a
Yeah.
really stupid way of,
Dangerous.
I did it a few times and I was like, oh, I've got this, but
Right.
you've never really got it, have you?
Yeah,
So,
long term, yeah, it's very
yeah,
difficult long term when you are trying to like have the consistency and have the results that you you
yeah.
you want and stuff. Chasing, like you said, chasing your tail, there'll be those days where it's like I shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean?
I should have
Uh,
just closed the laptop and
right, exactly. Because there obviously
fought
there's a
another
big
day. Yeah,
misconception as well with trading is that like you have to trade every day, and
yeah,
obviously us going through the mentorship and doing what we needed to do, I kind of showed you a method where you need to see what you need to see. So obviously, going into the mentorship with me, I take it you was quite open-minded to learn a new concept because you kind of
yeah,
took it on board
100%.
quite
Yeah,
quite good as
yeah.
well.
I think
Uh,
I think if you're going to pay for something, that
right.
you just sit back and listen and take notes.
And in terms of your experience with me, what was the main takeaways you got to actually like flip the switch on from, that impulsiveness or chasing the market and stuff like that? What was the switch for you after doing the mentorship with me?
There's two things, but I think they come in hand. Really, is eye candles and balances.
Right.
Um, After I learned that,
Mm.
it kind of all made sense to me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just look for retracement back to certain areas. And Fibonacci as well. I was kind of, so many people who set it up so many different ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of different settings for sure.
And like I look at,
Yeah.
I've been through so many settings. You should use this way, you should do that way.
Right.
But the way I use it now, which is the way you taught me,
Right.
is working. So,
Yeah.
and also that would filter down into other aspects. It would filter down into not rushing trades, because if they're not there,
Right.
what are you going to take? Like you're just going to,
100%.
wait until the setup presents itself, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And in terms of just like overall feedback, what would you say to the person, like to a beginner that wanted to get into trading and like did take the route of, going into mentorship? What would you say in terms of value and what they can kind of take from where your experience was, and
Yeah.
then obviously get going on to if you want to do a funded, become a funded trader or actually trade your own funds, what would you be your main positive feedback to give to that person?
Um, Take your time, absorb it, make sure you understand it before you trade,
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm.
And start with a demo account.
Right.
Start with a demo account to see how you get on,
Yeah.
because it's not real money. It's not your money. Obviously, position sizing, get that all correct,
Hmm.
uh, and just don't take massive risks. Keep everything in proportion to your pot size
Yeah.
and your 1% a day. I
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't go over 1%. I know people say between 1 and 2,
Yeah.
but I firmly stick to 1, to be fair.
That's good,
Uh,
and that's what works for you.
yeah,
That's what works for
and
me.
then when you use a prop account, obviously that 1% is it's a bit different, isn't it?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
It matters.
so yeah,
Matters a lot more. You went into the prop firm route after doing the mentorship, right? Would you
I
mainly
did. Yeah,
say? Yeah.
yeah,
Well, in regards to prop trading, because most retail traders are kind of going into that route now. Um, in terms of just like you said, there's so many rules and like regulations to follow and stipulations to follow. But just in terms of you applying what your method is, obviously some people denied payout due to whatever reason and stuff like that. But the ones that did pay out, would you say that it was due to the fact of you sticking to your trading plan and stuff like that?
yeah,
Um,
definitely,
right.
definitely. I mean, they don't like erratic trading. They're after traders, so
Hmm.
they're after people who can trade.
Yeah.
Because what they'll do is they'll assign I guess, their bot to copy
Hmm.
trade you if
Hmm.
you're doing all
Hmm.
right.
Yep.
You'll look at your hit ratio, and if you're doing well, you're kind of a person of interest.
Yeah. And
If not,
what's been your biggest payout from a prop?
I got 6.
6,000.
Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
that was all through like in the span of like a small amount of time, or was that just you taking your time over, a few weeks or a few months?
Yeah, it was about a month.
A
A
month?
month. Yeah.
Yeah, so 6K in
So
a month is really good. And what I can
thank you.
attest to you is the fact that the consistency's there, but you also keep it simple. That's one thing I've noticed about you. You don't overcomplicate things, um, whereas some people will, in terms of just being emotionally in check is one thing I would say that I've noticed with you as well in terms of your simplifying nature is what works for you is that you don't want to be erratic or you don't want to actually overcomplicate it. You kind of just want to shoot your shot when the time arises, if you
Yeah,
get what I
correct.
mean. So
Yeah, yeah,
with you doing that, I feel like a lot of people can take that characteristic from you because that is a characteristic in trading that you need and actually to have success. It's simple.
yeah,
A comment that people make where they're like, trading is simple. And then to an outsider looking in, they just think, yeah, but what if you don't know what you're doing? But it's actually when you actually apply a concept to it is what makes it simple.
yeah.
If you get what I mean. So
Yeah,
trading
no,
is
definitely.
simple. It
Yeah,
really is
decent.
simple, but it's more what can you do to kind of get out of your own way to simplify it, you know?
I think the main battles in here,
Right.
that's the battle that people have.
Hmm.
It's looking at videos online and seeing the flashy lifestyle, this and that, but it shouldn't apply to you. What
Yeah.
should apply to you is have a target in mind, um, and work towards that target and increase it
Perfect.
accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of targets, like what's your goal for this year? Obviously, we're kind of early into the year, so what's your goal?
My goal at the moment is just using trading to pay for life. So I'm not overly stretching myself. I
Hmm.
mean, I run a business as well at the same
Right.
time. So it's what I like to do with it is use it to pay for my bills, my food,
Hmm.
family
Hmm.
activities, stuff like
Hmm.
that. So it's just life becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect, bro. So yeah, man, more power to you, bro. I think you're on the right path anyway. And thank you for being such a devoted student as well in the process, because as much as I can teach you the concepts, it's really what you then go on to do with it as well. That in terms
yeah.
of applying it as well. So you've definitely applied yourself in the right manner. And yeah, hopefully it bears you a lot more fruit on the way, bro. So yeah, props to you. And
Thank you.
thank you again, bro, for just keeping it simple, basically, not
Yeah.
overcomplicating it. Some of the students that I've been with before, where they get stuck is they kind of, how you kind of conceive information, you can conceive it in a way that I never said,
Mm.
but you think I said it that way. So then it leads you down a whole nother route of
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
then apply it.
yeah.
So again, where you've gone well is you've kind of taken what I've said something is and face value. That is what
Mm.
it is. So I'm gonna treat it as such. And
Yeah.
that makes such a big difference in the long run as well. So yeah, props to you, bro. You was definitely a high flyer in regards to the way you was able to apply things. So thank you for
It
that.
was a great course, and I can recommend it to anyone. I've got a few people in line I'm going to put your way anyway. So,
Yeah,
um, thank you.
appreciate you, man. Thank you for watching the latest episode. If you like that, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. I'll see you on the next video.